Good day, students. Today we will going to continue our lesson about the divisibility rule. And for today's lesson, good day, students. Today we will going to continue our lesson about divisibility rule. And for today, we will going to discuss the divisibility rule for 7, 11, and 12. So yesterday, we already finished discussing the divisibility rule for 3, 6, 9, 4, and 8. And for today, we will going to continue, and this will be our last lesson about the divisibility rule, and that is the 7, 11, and 12. So are you now ready? Grade 5? Okay, so let's continue. So first, we will going to learn the divisibility rule for number 7. So I have here 4 examples, and we will going to identify or know whether these 4 examples are divisible by 7. Now, the rule for the divisibility rule for 7 is double the last digit and subtract it from the remaining number. The answer should be divisible by 7. Again, remember, the rule for 7 is we're going to double the last digit. So let's start for number 1. We have here number 1, 574. The rule tells us that we need to double the last digit. What is the last digit for 574? That is 4. So since 4 is the last digit, we will going to double the 4. So double the 4, it is just like saying 4 times 2. 4 times 2, that is 8. Now, we already doubled the last digit. The next step is that we will going to subtract it from the remaining number. So we will going to subtract it to the remaining numbers here. What is our remaining number? It is 57. So we will going to subtract 57 by 8. Subtract 7 minus 8 cannot be, so we're going to borrow to 5. 5 will become 4, and 7 will become 17. 17 minus 8, this one is 9, and then bring down 4. Now, the answer here is 49. Is 49 divisible by 7? The answer is yes. 49 is divisible by 7 because 7 times 7 is 49. So since 49 can be divided by 7, so therefore the whole number, which is 574, is divisible by 7. Okay, now let's continue. Let's try to answer the number 2 example here. For number 2, we have 147. Now, going back to our rule, we're going to double the last digit. What's the last digit for this one? It's 7. Double the last digit, 7. It is just like saying 7 times 2. The answer is 14. 7 times 2 is 14. And we're going to subtract 14 to the remaining number. What's the remaining number? That's 14. So 14 minus 14, the answer is 0. Now, always remember grade 5 that 0 is divisible by any number. Okay? 0 is divisible by any number. So therefore, 147 is divisible by 7. Okay? So that is the rule for 7. Okay, always remember that we need to double the last digit and subtract it to the remaining. Okay, gets na? Let's try the next one. Number 3. For number 3, we have 3,976. The last digit here is 6. Let us double the 6. 6 times 2, that is 12. So we have here 12. Subtract it to the remaining number, and that is 397. Subtract 7 minus 2, is 5. 9 minus 1 is 8. Bring down 3. So we have here 385. Oh no, 385 is still a big number. So since this one is still a big number, we will just going to continue the process. Still, let us double the last digit, that is 5. If we're going to double the 5, we got the answer of 10, right? 5 times 2, that is 10. And still, we're going to subtract it with our remaining number. Our remaining number here is 38. So 38 minus 10. So we have here 8 minus 0 is 8. 3 minus 1, that is 2. So we have here 28. Is 28 divisible by 7? The answer is yes. 28 is divisible by 7. If we're going to do the table of 7, 7, 14, 21, 28. 7 times 4 is 28. So therefore, 3,976 is divisible by 7. Okay. You know na? You already know how to get the divisibility rule for 7? Okay, let's go. And let us proceed to our last example. And that is number 4. Is 9,822 divisible by 7? Still, let us use our rule. Let us double the last digit. 2 times 2, the answer is 4. And subtract it with the remaining. So, 2 minus 4 cannot be. This will become 7 and this will become 12. 12 minus 4, the answer is 8. We have here 7, we have here 9. So we still have a lot or a big number. So still let us continue. Double the last. So if we're going to double the 8, that is 16. So 16 minus 97. So subtract. 7 minus 6, that is 1. 9 minus 1, that is 8. So we have here 81. Is 81 divisible by 7? The answer is no. 81 cannot be divided by 7. Or if we're going to divide 81 by 7, we will have a remainder. Since we have a remainder for 81, so therefore 9,822 is not divisible by 7. So again, remember, for the divisibility rule for 7, we are going to double the last digit and subtract it to the remaining number. And if your answer is divisible by 7, then that whole number can be divided by 7 without giving us any remainder. Okay, shall we proceed to the next one? Very good. Let's start, or let us see the divisibility rule for 11. For the divisibility rule for 11, we have the rule which is add the odd digits, add the even digits, and find their difference. Is the result divisible by 11? Okay, what does this odd digit and even digit means? When we say odd digits and even digits, it does not mean that we're dealing with odd and even numbers. So actually, what does this odd digit and even digit means? It is just like saying we are counting the numbers starting from the left. So just like, for example, we have here the number 1. For number 1, we have here 693. If I'm going to count these numbers, we have here 1, we have this 2, okay, or the second digit, we have here 3, okay. So this one means we're going to add the numbers that are odd. What are odd numbers? We have here the 1 and the 3. The 1 and the 3 here, or the 6 and the 9, they are odd numbers. And the 9 here are even numbers or even digit. So what we're going to do is we're going to add, we're going to plus, and subtract it and find their difference. So we're going to add 6 plus 3. We have here 9. And add also the even digit. We have only 1 even. number here, or even digit here, which is also 9. And we're going to find its difference. So 9 minus 9, the answer is 0. Okay, so 0, as we all know, 0 can be divided by any numbers. So it means to say that 693 here is divisible by 11. Okay, so let us try to answer the number 2 example. Okay, now let us number our digit here and let us identify the odd numbers and the even numbers, or the odd digit and the even digit. So we have here 1, we have here 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, now, first, of course, we're going to find, or we're going to add the odd numbers and the even numbers. Okay, so for the odd numbers, we have here 7. 7 plus 4, we have here 11. 11 plus 7, the answer is 18. Next, how about the even numbers? Our even numbers here is 2 and 5. So 2 and 5, that is 7. And then we're going to find the difference. So 18 minus 7, the answer is 1, 1. The answer is 11. Now, is 11 can be divided by 11 or divisible by 11? The answer is yes. So it means to say that 72,457 is divisible by 11. Okay, now let us proceed to our next example for number 3. Okay, so again, still we're going to number our digit here. So this will become the 1, the 2, the 3, the 4, and the 5. Now, let us add all the odd numbers and, of course, all of the even numbers. Let's start with the odd numbers. Our odd numbers here is 1, and that is 9. 9 plus 5, that is 14. 14 plus 0, that is still 14. Now, for the even numbers, we have here 1 and 8. 1 plus 8, the answer is 9. So let us now subtract. 14 minus 9, the answer is 14 minus 9. The answer is 5. Now, is 5 divisible by 11? The answer is no. Since 5 cannot be divided by 11, so therefore, the 91,580 is not divisible by 11. Okay, now let us proceed to our last example, and that is the number 4. So for number 4, we have 8,153,783. Now let us number our digit here. We have here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Okay, now this time, let us now add all the odd digit, and of course, the even digits. Let's start with the add. Add or 8. 8 plus 5, that is 13. 13 plus 7, the answer is 20. 20 plus 3, this one is 23. Next, let's do now the numbers that are in even. So we have here 2 plus 3, that is 4. 4 plus 8, the answer is 12. Now let us subtract. 3 minus 2, the answer is 1. And 2 minus 1, the answer is 11. So, is 11 can be divided by 11? The answer is yes. So, therefore, 8,153,783 is divisible by 11. And it gives us without any remainder. So again, for the divisibility rule for 11, we're going to number all the digits and then we're going to add the odd numbers. We're going to add at the same time all the even digits and we're going to find its difference. Once you find the result, you're going to think is that answer can be divided by 11. If yes, then that number can be or is divisible by 11. Okay, now this time let's proceed to our last divisibility rule, and that is the divisibility rule for 12. For the divisibility rule for 12, the rule is the number is divisible by both 3 and 4. For the sum of its digit divisible by 3, the number formed by the last digit should be divisible by 4. Okay, so this one, for the divisibility rule for 12, all we have to do is it should be divisible by 3 and at the same time, it should be also divisible by 4. So let's start with number 1. Now, we all know that to find out that the number is divisible by 3, we're going to add all its digits. Okay, so we're going to add 6 plus 4, it's 10. 10 plus 8, this one is 18. And 18 is divisible by 3. So yes. How about for the 4? The rule for the 4 is the last two digits should be divisible by 4. Okay, so the last two digit here is 48, and 48 is divisible by 4. So therefore, 648 is divisible by 12. The next one, let's go to number 2. For number 2, let us add 1 plus 1, that is 2. 2 plus 4, that is 6. 6 plus 0, that is 6. Very good. 6 is divisible by 3, so yes. How about the last two digit? That is 40. 40 is also a multiple of 4, so can be divided by 4. So therefore, 1,140 is divisible by 12. Let's go for number 3. Number 3, let us add all of its digits. 9 plus 1 is 10. 10 plus 0 is 0. 10 plus 2 is 12. 10 plus 3 is 10 plus 2 is 12. 12 plus 3 is 15. 15 plus 1 is 16. 16 is not divisible by 3, right? Because 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18. So we don't have 16. So therefore, automatic number 3 here is not divisible by 12. So always remember that a number can be divisible by 12 only if it is divisible by 3 and by 4. Let's proceed to number 4. We have here 8,225,124. Okay, so let us add all of its digits. So 8 plus 2 is 10. 10 plus 2 is 12. 12 plus 5 is 17. 17 plus 1 is 18. 18, 19, 20, 24. 24 is divisible by 3. The answer is yes. And the last two digit here is 24. Then 24 as well can be divided by 4. So therefore, 8,225,124 is divisible by 4. So that's it. We are already done with our lesson about divisibility rule. So if you have any question, grade 5, feel free to write it in our comment section below. And Sir Von is very open to answer all of your queries.